Welcome to the Oxen Group Nightly. My name is David Ristow. I'm the CEO and founder of the Oxen Group. The Oxen Group is an online financial analysis and investment opportunities firm. You can check us out at www.theoxengroup.com for all of your investment idea needs out there. All right, well, let's start out the Oxen Group Nightly tonight. It's June 27th. We could look at our market wrap-up, followed by two positions that we looked at today and we're actively in, Amazon and the cubes. Also some other current positions and exits, as well as an update on Georgia's Corner and extended value portfolio, and also, as always, our forecast for tomorrow. And please check out our disclaimer at the end of the video. Well, the market had a pretty nice update on pretty relatively limited upside news. It was moving into the end of the quarter. We got out the news on the personal spending and income. Those were weaker than expected. Personal income was only rose 0.3%. It was supposed to rise 0.4%. Personal spending was flat. That was expected to be better than it was. But, it's the end of quarter two, and traders and institutions and your mutual funds, they all want to at least try and end on a little bit of a positive note, try and get things to a little bit higher than they are right now, and they're going to latch on to any kind of positive news and use it to propel some pretty heavy buying that we would expect, and that's what we got today. We got the QE 2.5, 3 basically out today. Fed said they're going to buy another $300 billion of Treasury funds based on the maturation of other ones, and they're going to be able to take advantage of that. Also as we move into that Greece vote, that's also going to be pretty influential in the market. You've got that ability to raise the euro, drop the dollar, and also, it's kind of viewed, I guess, as a positive to bring some stability to that. Most of the signs point to that, while there is definitely some there's a lot of talks going on, there's a lot of thought that will probably most likely pass. It was interesting to see, though. We did see personal spending and income drop this month. Income dropped again for the second month in a row. Personal spending did take its first dip down. And you see that for a while we had personal income kind of rising a little bit above personal spending. But this month, personal income, again, lower than personal spending. Always the American way of doing things, spending more money than we actually make. So luckily that those lines are pretty steady. You see, leading into the financial crisis, look at this here. You got a lot of personal income, or personal spending well above personal income, and that does hurt things. But personal spending was down. I thought that was going to be a pretty week for the market. It's another week. This isn't, I guess, really a manufacturing index, but another weak kind of sign of that spending is down, and another weak sort of index that shows sort of where we are as far as the economics of things. We got a good start to the week. We gained early on the Fed news, another rise after the lunchtime lull there, and then did have a little bit of a sell-up at the end of the day. Some late profit taking, although that's healthy for the market. You're up 150 points. You got some nice gains on the table. It's time to take a little bit off there, especially given the volatility and the sort of uncertainty that exists in this market. We were able to take advantage of the update. We had a pretty nice day with Amazon. Got in right towards the open pretty early in the day, and this stock just continued to rally. Opened above 195. 195 we've been talking about as a key level for Amazon. I haven't been able to break it for the last 4 trading sessions. Broke it this morning and just took off like a rocket. We bought the 205 calls this morning, and those just skyrocketed intraday. I think some of our auto traders were able to get out for some 60 to 65% gains there on the final exit. So great move for it. Most likely probably going to go to 210 here. It looks like that's pretty much the next place for it to go to. It might be a slow move up there with a little bit of volatility, but if you're looking for a long-term stock that has a lot of potential and seems to be good to move even higher, I would look at Amazon. We also were able to take advantage of the move in the cubes today. We were still holding some weekly calls that we had, the $55 calls. thought, last week on Friday we thought we'd get a rally at the end of the day. It didn't happen, but got the rally today. Sold half of those cubes calls for I think about like an 18% loss, but then we were able to get back out of these. The rest of them for about a 31% gain. So I ended up with averaged out for about a 13-14% gain on those. Not a great gain given those are options, but hey, it was better than the loss we were staring at on Friday and able to accrue that. We sold puts a little while ago, $48 puts on UNH when those were up at 48 cents. And I've been telling my members, I really like this stock a lot. It's got a really, really great support. It's got, the price channel, the 50-day, the 20-day, and the lower price channel at the pivot point and the lower price channel, all at 49 or above. Those $48 puts were for the July 16th expiration were at 50 cents, and I'm like, look, you get 50 cents for every contract you sell. You get a little bit of margin because it's an expensive stock, but this stock is very, very probable that it will not go to 48, and those puts will therefore going to expire worthless if it doesn't. We got in at 48. We sold part of them for a nice gain at about a 15% gain. We look to sell a little bit more of those today for a 40% gain. We didn't get quite there, but we got a few cents right above it. With the theta going forward tomorrow, that drops it down to about 32 cents, even on a flat day tomorrow. So, I also talked to my members. I said, look, let's sell these things when we can, and then let's buy them back. Anytime we get a pop around 50 cents, 45, 50, 55 cents, let's sell some more of these puts and continue, because these are not going to stay up. And the stock will most likely, there's no big thing coming from them before that would drop it down to 48 in our opinion. 3 days after the puts expire, we got earnings. So sure, that's going to be influential in the stock price, but those puts will not be moving in such a drastic way. Maybe the August ones would. So we like that stock a lot. We also talked about today, we wrote an article looking at longs in Apple for the week. I think that stock's got a lot of potential this week. I also think gasoline companies that sell gas, have a lot of potential moving into that July 4th weekend. I like those. We talked about Exxon, we talked about ConocoPhillips, Chevron. I think even more importantly, you can look at the DIG and the ERX. Those two ETFs have a lot of potential. Even if oil stays down or stays flat, if oil can hold 90, you're going to see those gasoline companies continue to move up to the upside this week, I think. And I think we should see a little bit of a rebound here in oil, I think, as the euro continues to show some strength into that Greece vote. On the short side, I did like Shield. That's Sears Holding, and I liked SKX. I think those two stocks are stocks that rallied today that had no business rallying and should continue to the downside moving forward. We did recommend buys in Avenir, DHT, and ERII from our $5 list, so definitely check those out. Those stocks look to all be looking good for the rest of this week. Georgia's Corner, lead trader there, Georgia Ferrero, with his credit trades, was able to sell some NTAP vertical puts today, the 48 to 46. He made 9%. He's done very well with those credit swaps. Excuse me, those credits and debits, and he was able to make another good one today with the NTAP vertical put spread. He's also looking at silver. He thinks that some vertical put spreads on the SLV may be ready, as that looks like it might have hit a bottom. I'm cautious on that, bottom fishing on those commodities. The dollar has a lot, what's going to happen with Greece, that's all not really worked out. So, but he is looking at that. He does like that for a put spread there below that, maybe the 24-22. Weekly update, went out with our top picks today for extended value portfolio, all the changes there. We had 5 stocks move different ranges. And again, our top picks continue to be Dean Foods, GameStop, Lennar, for the residential construction sector. From the solar sector, like GT Solar. And you can check out all of that with an extended value portfolio membership, or just check out our extended value portfolio pages. For tomorrow, we like the market to rise. The market rose today at the week news. But again, we're pretty bullish this week. We got the Greek vote coming, the end of the quarter. I think we can keep this going. I would venture to guess that probably tomorrow will be a flatter day than today. I would guess that it's probably going to be somewhat neutral. But I do think we got consumer confidence coming in tomorrow. Case-Shiller index. And setting up maybe for a little bit of a pullback tomorrow. Consumer confidence could be pretty shaky. given what we see. We do have key earnings again from Nike tonight. No one else is actually on the docket tomorrow. Did make the change there. I apologize for that. I was looking for someone else, but I think the only other person going tomorrow morning is China Biotics or something. So definitely a very small low cap. We do have a couple more bigger earnings coming on throughout the rest of the week, so we'll definitely have to check for those. That's going to do it for today. Visit us at www.theoxengroup.com. Email us, check us out on the web. Get involved, guys. We have lifetime more 70% accuracy, and you're losing money if you're not trading with us.